If you're a healthcare provider and your number one piece of advice is to tell someone who's in pain to stop doing whatever activity that's causing them pain, maybe you shouldn't be in healthcare in the first place. The reason why I say that is because recently I've had a patient who went to go see a doctor about her back symptoms. I'm not going to dive too deep into what she's dealing with, but basically something that she's been dealing with since she was a child. So even a little bit of backstory is that she had an x-ray done about 8-9 years ago, was diagnosed, and then recently started to have a little bit more back pain. Nothing too severe, just, started out, I guess a 4 or 5 out of 10, and then it got to about, down to a 2, aching, tightness, things like that. Nothing too extreme. And her parents decided to get it re-imaged. When they got a re-image, they had found, obviously they had wanted to look at what they found 10 years ago, and then anything changed, anything progressed. According to the imaging, nothing had changed in about 10 years, outside of the fact that recently there was a flare-up. And again, I would consider them relatively minor, okay, so nothing too extreme. Went to go see a doctor, the doctor looked at the imaging, and the number one piece of advice that they were given was the fact that she should quit playing sports. She's about to go to college, or is now currently in college, but the advice that she was given was the fact that she should quit playing sports. Obviously, she was very distraught. Her parents were in the room with her, and they had to take in all this information. You tell a 17, 18-year-old kid to quit sports. The mom texted me, my athlete told me also, and my immediate thought is to, number one, why did this doctor feel like it was necessary to convey this piece of information when considering there was no evidence of any type of worsening of based on structurally, and also symptoms were fairly minor. Nothing was super intense sharp, no pain down the legs, no weakness down the legs or anything of that nature, but yet the number one piece of advice was to quit playing sports when she had spent her entire life working up to play college sports. And I was just really taken aback because this is obviously not the first time I've heard this, but more recently, I guess, just wanted to basically tell anyone who's in the healthcare field, like, if that's going to be your one piece of advice, maybe you shouldn't have entered this field in the first place. Our job as healthcare providers is to help people get out of pain, help them get back to activities that they want to do. That's simple, black and white. That's what our job is. And again, I understand that if her case had severely worsened and she was dealing with a whole bunch of things, and the sport was the one thing that was constantly aggravating and all that kind of stuff, okay, I can understand that was your piece of advice. Or if everything else had been exhausted, that 100% was not the question. We had been rehabbing for about 3 or 4 weeks or so. Her parents just wanted to do diligence because she was going to college soon, so we just wanted to do everything we can to make sure we had all the information in place. And again, the doctor's number one piece of advice was to quit playing sports. So yeah, again, for anyone who's in healthcare, like, do your job, okay? Like, if your job is to, if you're a physical therapist and someone comes to see you for fill in the blank pain, help them. Figure out how to help them get out of it. Don't just tell them to stop doing whatever the activity is, right? Another analogy is think about an older person, right? Maybe 40s, 50s, 60s, in their range, and they have pain with, low back pain, have difficulty with picking up things on the ground. Let's say specifically a 45-year-old mom that, stop picking up things from the ground. What if they have a kid, right? So you're telling them, you're putting this in their thought that they should be scared or hesitant to pick up their kid, right? Instead of that, let's help them learn how to pick up things from the ground with weight, obviously, with no pain, right? And this might take time. This might take, trial and error type of thing, and just trying to help them overcome this should be our goal. And to say, don't do X, Y, and Z, it doesn't really benefit them in any way. They're just gonna live fearfully in a sense, and our job is to try and empower our patients. So I just wanted to hop on just to kind of give a little bit of a rant, just because this happened so recently, and I don't know, it really pissed me off. So yeah, again, anyone who's in healthcare, please help those around you. For any patient who's undergoing and you have been told stop doing X, Y, and Z, or maybe your current provider is telling you go find someone new. So appreciate you guys listening to this rant.